And it seems, Mr. Deft, that we have a match on our hands.
We do indeed.
There we
Good.
go.
So now that that's done, there's only 6 players on the server this time instead of 10, so 4 of them, depending on whom you want to see in chat, we're going to focus on one of them for every map we will be driving. To maybe see what they're doing good, see what they're doing poorly, stuff like that.
All right.
So the map order seems to be same between divisions. For those of you who weren't around last time we were streaming and haven't seen the actual divisions, this is the first map, and it is the Untrained map by Vamos de Car, Future Love Story. Players get 2 chances to warm up for this one. This is about as simple as you can make a map that consists entirely of banked turns. So this is really just a test of your intuitive understanding of bank turns and how quickly you can get to grips with it and how much you're willing to risk in a game that is notoriously buggy on a map that forces you to, take every Ramstein you can.
All right. So we saw some interesting stuff happening here, I think, Friday in Div 1 with
We did indeed, yes.
players, I think, struggling a lot to find the right lines here. We saw Dopa, he was pretty quick to figure it out. It will be very interesting to see how Div 3 will play on this map, because it is a very risky and punishful map, we should say, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is extremely punishing, and there's no two ways about that. Um, very difficult to really say which one of these players is going to do best here. I really don't have an idea which team should be favored here or which players should be favored, so I guess we're
No.
going to see how everyone performs and maybe see how the match develops over the course of the 4 maps. So, in terms of blue team versus red team, on blue team we have Rectardin, the leader of the teammate challenge, the best
Yes.
teammate you can ever ask for. Kavengel, aka Goku, a very strong veteran player from FRT, now Bros. And Nov, who, started off pretty high but dropped down a few divisions recently. Red team Luxi, I think very well prepared in terms of pace, perhaps a bit less prepared in terms of consistency. Carrace, a completely new name in NASCAR, I think, having his first tournament, joined BG, and having a decent showing for himself. And Gigasan, who I think demoted from Division 2 and has been in Division 3 for 2 weeks in a row now, so
All right.
hoping to come back, really needs to improve a bit. And as far as I can tell, is that one more warm-up or not?
I think so. Yeah, I think 2 warm-ups here.
Yeah, so people
Yeah.
Yeah, so people ask, do I prepare beforehand when talking about maps? No, it just so happens that I've played NASCAR for a while, I know a thing or two, and I happen to have driven earlier than Division 1 and 3 this week, so I have an idea of how this map was actually like to play in practice. Obviously, better NASCAR players might be able to provide more insight and better commentary, but so far none of them have volunteered to cast, so you're stuck with my second-rate analysis, and, well, so far most people don't complain about it. But no, I don't actually prepare beforehand. When I used to do solo streams, I would usually check, like, how these players had performed before, or maybe say something from my personal knowledge about fighting them. But normally speaking, no, I don't actually prepare any points beforehand. They sort of show up by themselves as the players drive. So I guess that's that. Second warm-up, so far so good. I don't even know what to say, like the players are having a bit of a fun time. I guess during the second warm-up, chat can maybe decide if they would like me to follow someone specifically on map number 1. So
Yeah,
please,
let us know.
Whom would you like to see a focus POV of?
Yeah, let us know in the chat, guys, who you would like Deft to focus, because this will work exactly the same as last time for those who were here and for
The
those
best
who
teammate.
weren't.
So we do a bit of Rectardin spectating.
Rectardin. All
Okay,
right.
cool. Oh, and by the way, I guess I can actually, before we begin, I'm just gonna quickly alt tab out of the game to give you the link to multi-stream.
There we go, multi-stream. Very nice.
And you can see both streams for yourself. Audio is the same on both of them, and here we focus on Rectardin, while Rema gives you the standard round POV.
There we
Well
go.
then, Future Love Story by Vamos Dakar were underway in a 3 versus 3 match, week 4, Division 3. Maybe you'd like to cast the first round?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see how the players will perform on the first official round, we should say, here on the untrained map. So it will be very interesting to see who will find the fastest lines and who is still struggling a bit. And it will be very interesting on this map as it is so punishful to the drivers here. If you make a small mistake, you are done for. So the pack still pretty close together here, I think, after what is almost the first lap here. We see actually mixed teams. Blue versus red. We see Goku in front. Now a little mistake, so he is instantly ripped by the caster curse, as Not takes the lead here for blue team. Akare is a little bit further behind, but it is still, yeah, pretty close, I think. No huge mistakes yet, which is very interesting on an untrained map in the first actual round. So let's see if red team can push a bit here, because blue, it seems like, is taking the lead, with Giga-san now overtaking Not. So let's see
Yeah,
if they
heading into
can...
lap 3, Goku makes a pretty big mistake, and Rectardin seems to be driving very safely, but unfortunately this also means that he's bleeding pace. So this is exactly what we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
This map is by definition risky, and obviously playing it on TMNF, you are at risk of the Ramstein bug every single time you drive risky, as Rectardin just demonstrates. So you have to somehow balance trying to gain points by driving risky with, you know, the innate risk of getting onto those Ramsteins to achieve the faster turn-in times. So since this is pure map full of banked corners, there is no really alternate style. If you lose your flow, if you drop a lot of speed, it is very difficult to actually regain it in a series of banked turns. So you have to sort of keep it clean, keep it together, and you have to keep it relatively risky if you want to have a good time, since as you can see by the finish times, which are in the 147, 148 range, this is really nothing to write home about so far, and the players seem to be prioritizing safety over driving as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a sensible strategy, because now there are only 6 players on the server. Again, the point distribution is kind of... it kind of changes. It varies really depending on how big the match is. The smaller, obviously, the amount of players on the server, the harder it is for you to actually make long comebacks happen, because there are less points to be taken overall, even though the distribution might be the same. All things considered, though, round 2 is looking pretty good so far. We see a big mistake from Luxie, and rounds looking perfectly balanced up until now. Rectardin perhaps a bit too far to the outside, and that's a very safe line, which means he's going to be dropping positions to Goku and Ekarace. Still waiting to see how it develops.
He needs to
Yes.
reset, so he gives away first place. Looks very blue now, with not
Round is
Goku and
extremely
Rectardin.
blue.
Yeah.
As they enter into lap 3, Rectardin, that was too risky. He'll touch the wall. He does give up the position, but nobody is in position to really punish them for this. And it still is looking like a blue round, which I suppose it works in people's favor, you know, prolongs the match a bit. But it does hurt the player's endurance, because this is a very long map, and as we obviously noticed in Division 1 and Division 2, the hardest maps are saved for last, and it's very difficult to drive them, so players, you know, using up a lot of rounds here, making the match last long, it might hurt their performance at the end. Ekarace with a very respectable second place finish,
Yeah,
does snipe,
well
but
done.
it won't be of any use. It's a blue round. Noff in a 1:48.18. Nothing to write home about, but very consistent. 2 rounds in the same 100th of a second. Very well done from Noff.
All right.
And it's 1-1 heading into round 3, so What are your initial impressions on how the players have been handling this untrained map?
I think it is for the teams. It is pretty balanced so far. We see not very consistent, and the rest of the field is actually pretty close. I think, and like you pointed out, really safety before speed right now, and players really try to not make any mistakes. Maybe skip driving the best line in order to save their performance a bit. So I think it will be very interesting. Might actually be a long map in terms of team points. So let's see.
Yeah, so the interesting thing here is that most of these players, at this point there have been two streams of this week, and at this point they may have watched some of them. They may well be aware, in a way that players might not have been able to, that the hardest maps are coming for last. So maybe they just want to start off safe and, get as many safe points as possible on the maps which are, strictly speaking, less buggy or a bit more competitively aligned, and
Mhm.
then whatever happens on the final maps, they want to have a stable pool of points, which is indeed, that is the strategy I would recommend for anyone driving this week. You kind of want to build up a solid base of points in these lower divisions, since the players are, not of the best quality. Maybe you can focus on being safe and not bleed too many points because of your pace. In the higher divisions, obviously, if you try to do that, if you compulsively save, you're just going to end up 7th every time, which is what I learned hard way. Here, though, I think it is a much, much better strategy.
Yeah, it is indeed looking good, and not once again pulling off what is a very consistent round. Made maybe a little mistake there, but he is still up front. Gigasan will overtake now. Let's see if Red can actually take this. Where is Ekarace? Fighting with
Actually, if
Rectordin.
Akaris does
Ooh,
snipe Rectardin, and it
there
is
we
going to be a
go.
red round
Yeah.
if Luxie finishes, which he will. So,
All
very good
right.
snipes from Gigasun and Ekaris at the end, keeping it together. Rectardin notices this map is hard. So, think about... No, but the thing about this map is that it is a 1 minute 50 round
Yeah.
full banked turn map, and the consequence of this is that if you are not really up to speed, and if you lose your flow, which happens very often in these lower divisions,
Mhm.
it gets kind of hard because you're suddenly not in a position to approach any of the corners in the way that you normally should. You're always a bit off, your flow isn't where it should be, and you just can't clear these corners. It's
Yeah.
like watching a skier kind of. If I had to pick an analogy, it's like watching a skier do slalom. You can't just weave around like it's nobody's business. You want to go tight through the gates and maintain the best possible speed. And this is the same exact thing. It's like watching a slalom race, honestly, as you have to weave through these banked corners without releasing too hard.
Yeah.
And for these players, I imagine that's difficult. Although, as I say this, Rectardin is plus 0.1 only to a top 1 time by Dopamine.
Oh
He's
my
a
god.
second ahead of his personal best, so I hope you've got his POV lined up, because this is amazing. What he's doing
Let's
right
see.
now shows that these lower division players, they have the pace, it's the consistency that lacks. And he does fall behind now, but this is still much stronger than his previous rounds. Loses a lot of speed, so he's no drifting that, and that gets very dangerous because now he had
Ooh.
to release here to not touch the wall. And exactly what I'm talking about, your flow is disrupted if you can't make every turn on time. Really, really difficult to play this kind of map if you are not up to speed. You just lose more and more time as it progresses, and even though
Oh no.
he started well, it ends in disaster. Plus, 2 second better than his PB, but unfortunately it will amount to nothing as he's now overtaken by everyone on the field.
What a shame. Was a good run from him indeed. Will bring nothing. Not again with the first place finish.
Noff and Goku do save it for a blue
Yeah.
round, but that's a shame for Ectardin because I think that was a very, very competitive time he was
Yeah.
setting right now.
He was
They
actually
couldn't
driving
finish
the
it off.
Dopa lines, I think, because Dopa was no drifting that turn as well when
To
he
be
saw him
fair,
PBing.
I mean, to be fair, the thing about this map is that most NASCAR players, even the ones in Division 3, and let alone the best NASCAR players out there, they intuitively already know what they should do on this map. It's just that when you haven't actually driven it, when you don't have muscle memory, when the only thing you have is your head telling you, wait, this is the correct line,
Yeah.
this intuitively feels correct, but you don't have any time to practice it because you're in live rounds, these kinds of mistakes happen often, and you intuitively start releasing because you're trying to safely arrive to the finish line, but this ruins your line for the following corner.
Yeah.
It's really, really a fine game of Risk you're playing on this particular map, and in my opinion, that's exactly what makes it fun to watch, as we see Rectarden and I
Oof.
believe Gigason as well. So 3 players already out of the round. Rectarden blaring the horn, making it quite difficult to watch. We're just gonna tune into the front now, since Rectarden is eliminated from the round, as we see Nov and Goku leading the round with Luxie in hot pursuit. It's looking very blue right now, but we'll see what happens.
Let's see if Not and Goku indeed can keep it up for blue here. Looking pretty steady on the fast time here. Luxie on PB. Almost everyone on PB, I think. And Goku, ooh,
Luxie
risky
no
by
drifting
him.
that turn, but that's not
Yeah,
optimal. You see that Goku actually preserved more speed, even though you
yeah,
would think that the no drift is faster. And he also is in a better position to take the following corners, and that's a really what I'm talking about. If you get upset in some way, disbalanced, you just can't keep it up. And the same is actually true of the flat map that is coming up next, but on this banked map, it feels worse for players because flat turns, strictly speaking, are easier to drive than this kind of map, right?
yeah, yeah, I
Flat
think
turns,
so.
you're not actually risking the Rammsteins nearly that much, right? Uh, so the flat
There
map
we
is much
go.
less risky, and Goku sets the best time we've seen so far in a 1:47.79, which is a very respectable time, to be entirely fair, but we've been saying that for a while. Like, Goku as a player
Yeah.
uh, is a very high caliber of player, and we see it in chat. So he's dealing with his cat, he's dealing with his children, and he's dealing with bugs. And
All right.
uh, in all honesty, you can tell,
Yeah,
it's
let's.
pretty difficult to keep it together. But now that
Yeah.
we've also had 5 rounds played, blue team leading 3-2, we can actually take a look at the points, and maybe you can, maybe you're noticing something you didn't really expect based on the times.
Yeah, it is interesting to see Gea-san here in second place, I think, in individual points actually, and blue team leading here as well. So yeah, I don't know. Some interesting stuff developing. Rectardin at the bottom here, not all the way up front with 27 individual points. And in between, I don't know, Not is just walking away right now with it.
And
Seems
here's what I want you to notice. So the essence of BFNL is that it is the cup that cares about solo points in team mode, as we see Goku crash away. And Goku crashing away is actually the perfect segue into uh it's actually the perfect segue into the point which I was trying to make, which is that Ekarace, his best time is a 1:49. So looking at the best time, he's pretty far behind other players on this map. Rectarden is the only one that's currently slower, but he was on a Dopa level time just a couple of rounds ago. But Ekarace is now going to maybe even take the lead over Goku, or he's going to be only 1 point behind, despite being over a second slower in peak pace, because
yeah,
it doesn't matter how fast you are if you're not finishing the rounds. That's sort of the integral part of BFNL. You have to be fast enough to be competitive, but you also have to be slow enough to arrive at the finish line in one piece in a game that is notoriously buggy. It's a really funny balance to watch, and really does, I think, make the matches quite interesting to follow.
yeah, very interesting to see with Not actually taking the win here again in a nice time there, 47-6 for him. And it will be blue again, I think. So blue, 4 to
Yes, it
2
will be.
now.
Yeah, they are getting away to a pretty good lead, but if you look at the team composition as well, you've got Noff and Goku on the same team. I think that's really the odds-on favorite to win this match, especially when Noff is performing like this.
Yeah,
I think what we saw from Noff in Division 1 was just a lack of consistency, but the problem is he was playing in Division 1, right?
yeah.
This is a far lower level of competition, and here he doesn't really need to worry about pace, and he can just focus on finishing the rounds faster than others. As we see Rectarden crash into the
Ooh,
wall, Goku disconnect. No, he didn't. Goku is with us, although a bit far behind as he touches the wall. So now that we've lost the 2 players, Noff is actually the only one in the lead, pursued by 3 members of Team Red. Ekarace this time on a very decent time himself, not better than his previous ones, but I imagine that's going to be fixed pretty soon. He would like to finish slightly better than a 1:49. I think he really can do better, as he now takes overall lead. Does... Yeah, he does
ah,
drop it. That was a bit of a bad line.
let's see if he
That
can
being
keep it
said,
up.
he's still better than usual, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think that was a touch release, and he has to touch release again to avoid crashing. So this is exactly what we talked about. Flow over everything. If you lose your flow, you're very likely to lose your life on this map. There's just no two ways about that. Looking at
Yeah.
it now, it looks like a red round as the blue team has fallen off very early. Rectarded not having the race of his life here.
Yeah, Red keeping it
Goku,
together here, actually. That
Goku
is
fast
impressive.
enough, but falling away from Noff very,
Yeah.
very quickly.
All right. So Red looking good here, all within a second of each other. Now Gigasan walking away a bit, but Luxie and Eka doing well to actually keep that red point. So well done. And Giga, oh, he will crash in the end. Actually, he will win the round in a 1:48.11 with not just behind. It will be a red round. And it is 4-3 then, I think. Yep. There we go. So red team sneaking one back. Not
Now we
with
see Noff.
38 points, actually.
Yeah, exactly. He broke away pretty well, and
Yeah.
Giga-san close second. The rest of the players seem to be pretty close together. Although Goku, I should say, Goku is far faster than the players he's matched with. It's just that between his cat and his kids and some bugs, yeah, it's quite hard to keep up with players that have their full concentration on the match at hand.
Yeah. Very true. All right.
But now we see blue team go off to a dominating start. Rectardin will have to release as he touches and flies slowly off the Ramstein. That being said, his fight for third place is well and truly alive. As now
Ooh.
we see Goku making a mistake, Rectardin having to release. Red team suddenly in a very favorable position. Rectardin will touch the wall, but Gigasan will touch the wall as well, making it completely even. Still, red favored, I believe, unless Rectardin can make up a position. They need the first and third place in order to unconditionally win the round. So, looking to see if Rectardin can make it back against Ekarace and against Luxie. Not looking all that good so far. He's got quite a bit of distance to make up, but he is making up distance to Ekarace, and that is a much better line.
Oh.
Ekarace touches the wall. Rectardin secures the all-important third position. Looking like a blue round right about now, unless some miracle happens later in the round. Noff stably in the lead, best player of the evening so far, adjusting himself well to this banked map. Luxie in hot pursuit, but unable to really get any meaningful distance through, as Rectardin is actually the one catching
Yeah.
up with him.
Doing very well here, Rectardin. Let's see if he can
Very
find.
unorthodox line from him.
Yeah. Ooh. Not the best of turns there for him. Luxie seems to stay in second place, but well done. Rectardin keeping third place here and giving Blue another point.
Another
There you
round,
go.
yes.
All right. So 5 points for Blue now. Playing up until 7, of course. So we are not done on this map yet. Red team needs to fight for every point that they can take right now. Right. Little hydrate in between rounds, always very nice. Let's see how we continue here. Interesting to see, again, like you pointed out earlier, Ekarace with a 149.11 PB. Still in points doing all right. 22 solo points there for him. Not too far from Luxie and Goku, so he needs to keep it up there. As we see Gigasan now driving away, and Goku with a huge mistake again. So he is out of the round, it seems like, pretty far away. And Gigasan with a nice lead here. Let's see if he can keep it up. Only zero. No, the castle curse for him. He was 0.13 away from the top one daily time after one lap, but he cannot keep it up. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. All right, so Giga-san absolutely gone. Akara is now just in front of Goku with Rectardin in third place. So it is actually looking blue right now, not leading again. Luxie and then Rectardin in third. So we see an exact copy of the top 3 of last round, I think. As Luxie and Rectardin simultaneously touch the wall. So no one will gain a place. And it is now Goku who can maybe drive himself into second place. Looking to overtake Luxie here and looking to make it a blue round once again. Let's see if he can. Very well done by Goku. And he will be trying to defend that second place against Luxie. Very close battle here. Oh, but he will touch the wall as well. Now overtaken by Ekarace and Rectardin at the same time. And I think this will be if Rectarden keeps his third place, which he...
He
Oh, he
does. Oh
can!
my god.
Oh my days! He snipes Ekares, who actually touches the barrier at the end. It will be a blue round.
And
Uh,
Goku actually sniped
oh
Giga-san
my
at the
god.
end, thanks, so...
Oi, oi, oi. All right. Pretty sick round. Not once again. 50 points now for Not. Very impressive performance by him so far.
I mean, to be fair, I think it should be expected that Nov is at the top of this division.
Mm-hmm.
Because in all fairness, he was Div 1, Div 2 player.
Yeah, very true. Still
Which
on
is
an
now
untrained
who is
map,
now
it might
who
be...
is now playing, you know, under maybe his normal level. So we'll see what
That's true.
happens now as we see multiple players fall away. And the interesting thing to note here really is that Ekares, who has far less competitive experience than anyone else here, is actually keeping up perfectly fine with at least, you know, a couple of these players. And even though this is his first competitive tournament and he's barely played NASCAR before,
Mm.
at least I think he has because I don't remember his name from basically any year. He's been doing remarkably well for himself, so that is something he can definitely be proud of, and despite the fact that his pace is really not there compared to the others, he's been collecting a decent amount of points, so
Yeah.
maybe if some of the other maps tonight favors him, he can come out to a good lead for himself. In terms of this round, though, we see Rectarden falling away, and we see that it's a solidly red round, which they need, because blue team is on match point. They really want to not choke this final lap now, so they can prolong this map and maybe give themselves a chance to come back a bit. Not, obviously, has no problem with his team losing, because he's just going to keep building his lead, looking absolutely dominant and untouchable on map 1 so far, and knowing his prowess, I kind of expect the same to continue, as we see Rectarden finally crashing completely out. Should be a red round as Luxie overtakes Nov,
Yeah.
panned at the perfect
Ooh.
time, but Nov then retakes the lead, and
Wow.
Nov will steer it into the finish line. It is a red round, but Nov, with the maximum amount of points, has absolutely no problem with that. So the interesting thing about BFNL, obviously, is that sometimes, unlike in a normal team mode match, sometimes you're perfectly fine with your team losing, because it favors you in terms of the solo point rankings, which are the ones that matter after all. So we'll see what happens.
Very interesting.
As far as things go right now, Nov is absolutely vibing. Ekaris actually got a solid points boost from that, and Luxi and Gigasan, I don't think either of them are going to be too happy with being 20 points behind Nov, because, I don't know, if I'm them, I really do think that I'd like to play in Division 2, and I would like to be making it out, but 20 points is not easy to come back from, especially if, you know, the other maps end up being very one-sided. So the red team and blue team in equal measure fall off, as Luxie is off to an incredible start right now,
Oh.
only 1/10 of a second behind top 1. Now, falling slightly further behind as he had to do the no drift, which is not perhaps optimal, Nov has to release because he touched the wall, and Luxie now inherits the lead, with Ekare's second,
Oof.
but unfortunately crashing away, will not be able to actually get any points from this round. Luxie, Nov, Gigasun, Rectarden, Goku, and Ekares, that's the current standing right now. Round is looking solidly red, and Luxie and Gigasun in front means they can definitely hold on to it, especially now that Goku falls away, but so does Gigasun.
Oh, he
Small
gives up.
mistake as well.
Goku
We'll
giving up, so that should
Yeah,
be
the round
red.
should be absolutely red
Yeah.
unless multiple snipes happen at the very end. I do think there's no way this round can go blue unless they finish 1-2. That being said, Luxie
Oh.
obliges. He drops 2
Oh.
positions. This is now the first and the third place for blue team. I'm not sure if that's enough to win. They'd ideally like first and second, but we'll see what happens. I think it is a draw if they finish in this state.
Oh,
But Rectarden is
Rectarden.
the one that hits the Ramstein right now, so the red team should inherit this round quite safely as he's overtaken by everyone else, unless Luxie and Ekares choke massively. Should be a red round, which prolongs the map. And for red team, I think they'll be quite happy not to be blown out of this map, because that still gives them a hope of winning the team.
Yes.
The team challenge, which obviously awards +2 points in the overall ranking, which is like finishing 1 position higher in the solo ranking. That being
Alright.
said, 6-5, and feel free to take it away.
Yeah, very interesting. So Red coming back from some points that they dropped, but now 6-5. Let's see if they can keep it up here. not loving it. 62 individual points right now for him, and he is just grinding it away. And as you said, Gigason and Luxie trying to keep it up, but Not is just a bit too fast right now. As we see some players falling already. Eka Race is still here. But Not is driving away pretty fast already. And Gigason out in the back here as we finish lap number 1. Blue, of course, looking to close it out here with the points that they got. Rectarden with a small mistake. Not absolutely being okay if the rounds finish red again. Let's see if he can do that. Goku now actually leading. He needs the points for himself. So let's see if Goku can, without making any mistakes here, keep it up. Not right behind him. And he is on a very decent time, Goku, I think. Let's see.
He is on a very decent time indeed, and red team
Yeah.
is falling away, so this is likely to be the map sealed for blue team.
All right.
We'll see what happens as Rectarden is now in 4th position. He's actually lowest in team points, so not exactly the map 1 performance he might have been hoping for. But when I think about the 3rd and the 4th map, about their perhaps a little bit looser style and the interesting turns, I think he might be well positioned to benefit from the 3rd and 4th map, but obviously he needs to be in a position to benefit from it at all, and if he continues this, well, he's not going to be in much of a position to contend for anything. That being said...
Goku with the win. Important for him. Oh, Not seem to have a huge mistake.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter because they're
He
1st and 3rd.
finishes. Yeah,
He can finish
right.
in any position, it will be fine. And it is the end of map number 1. Future
go.
Love Story by Vamos Dekar has a tragic ending for red team and a happy ending for blue team, as they managed to take it 7-5. And we'll be jotting down the points as we go so we can keep track of the solo ranking
Very
for
nice.
these players. So, you can introduce the audience perhaps to map number 2 as I just jot down the scores very quickly.
Surely, all right. Quick shout out to Insane Character and Naziak for the follow. Yella, I see you as well. Thank you for the first chat here in the chat. So yeah, blue team winning that, and we go on to the second map of the evening, guys. We are driving 4 maps today, of course, as you know. And this is Toy Factory by Ranik, and it is a completely flat map. But as we saw in Division 1 already, it has some critical turns and some very, I think, unorthodox turns that you really need to nail down in order to keep your speed alive and to make it to the finish line. So it will be very interesting to see how Div 3 performs on this map.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they have one warm-up since this is a train map, and I'm actually going to drive that warm-up with them so we can maybe see from the driver, because seeing it from the spectator's point of view doesn't perhaps reinforce exactly how weird this map is to drive on occasion. So I hope by doing it from the driver's perspective, maybe I can give you a bit of an idea of what corners are interesting, as my game is apparently not able to handle playing and streaming at the same time. Jesus Christ, this is laggy. With that in mind, so the important corner on the map here is this one. You have to release, go with a pretty weird deep line to avoid this Ramstein on the left side, so you're able to reach this corner in time. So, yeah, my game is lagging to hell, so this is a pretty terrible warm-up as far as warm-ups go.
Alright. Still nice to have your perspective, though.
So the interesting thing really is this set of corners. So right here, this left-hander and this left-hander as well. The speed you're able to carry and the line you carry through it kind of dictates whether you can even take the following corners at any kind of speed. And this following corner, the final corner, also has a very, very interesting line.
Alright.
It's a free lapper too, so you have to take these difficult lines 3 times without bugging out. Let's see what happens. Answer poll for Deft. What are you polling? Whom we're watching.
Yeah, I think Devil tried to poll, but nobody answered. Okay, Luxie. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you kindly. So, as I just completely butchered my warm-up, doesn't really matter. We're gonna spectate and not play the actual race with them. But the point here really is that this corner right here, zoomed in on my stream, this is the integral corner. You have to release in a way that is maybe very uncharacteristic for people who are accustomed to playing flat maps, and the consequences of that really change how you're driving the entire second half of the lap. The final 180 seen here, well, the game zoomed away, but so we're unfortunately not going to be able to see it, but I will spectate as we go. So in this first round, I really want you to focus on the interesting segments of this map. Uh, whose horn is that? Jesus.
All
With that
right.
in mind, so they're heading into the first interesting corner now. So where you release and how much room you leave yourself to the right dictates your speed
Oof.
for the following corner. Noff misjudges, Richtardin misjudges, and as you can see, this is very difficult for these players to do. This final corner as well. If you go too far outside, you're gonna crash, but at the same time, you want the maximum amount of speed for the start-finish straight, so no matter how you look at it, you're constantly forced to uh, pick your poison, basically, unless you can find the optimal line through these corners, which is very difficult to find. And again, it's kind of like map 1. You are forced to constantly pick between the safe line and the line which is actually fast enough to earn a lot of points. This isn't maybe as apparent in Division 3 as it is in Division 1 and 2, but I think we're still going to see a bit of it. And obviously, with Luxi and Gigasun on red team right now, and Noff maybe being better at these banked corners and fun speed-like maps, I kind of expect red team to be able to score some points here, at least more than on the first map. Maybe even take this map overall. That being said, Gigasun's crash makes that difficult. And look at this, Luxi misjudges
Oh,
and
look,
see what
see.
happens. He crashes outright. Will he get sniped at the end? Yes, he will. So Nov snipes it away, but I
Wow.
still think it should be
Red
a
round.
red round, but
Yeah.
only barely, despite the fact that they looked much better at the start.
Giga-san will not like that round. He was doing very well. I think second or
Interesting,
first place even,
interesting
but
POV
yeah.
in the end.
All right. So Giga-san was off to a good round. Let's see if he
As
can
I
complete it now.
don't seem to hear my co-caster at all. I don't see a
Oh,
stream, whether he left or something happened.
am I here? Hello?
Does anyone hear me?
I hear you, Mr. Deft. Guys in chat, I am still live. We can hear both.
Why can I not hear Remo? What is going on?
Uh-oh. Let's see if we can fix this real quick.
Hello?
I also don't know what is going on. I hear Deft as well. I hear him totally fine.
Interesting. I'll check what's up with the Discord call after this round.
All right.
Which I guess Rema can actually cast while I try to figure out why I'm not hearing anything.
All right, so we'll take it away here, guys, as Dev doesn't hear me anymore. So let's see what happened here in this round. Rectardin is falling behind with Not here as well, and it looks like a red round with Eka Race, Luxi, and Gigasun here places 1, 2, and 4. No, sorry, 1,
As
3,
I
and 4.
still
And
don't hear anything from you.
ooh, Goku. He can take place number 3, and let's see what is up with the call right now. Gigasun takes the win, very nicely done. I will try to rejoin the Discord call real quickly here. Oh no, I see I have, oh my god, I got the RTC connecting. I gotta, sorry guys, I really quickly gotta try and fix this, which I do not know is possible. No, I got the RTC connecting bug. Ay. Deft cannot hear me anymore. I got no root on Discord. There is no way for me to fix that, actually. And I cannot get back into the call with Deft. Fifan. All right. Yeah, there is almost no way for me to fix this, guys. I'm sorry. We gotta skip one round here. As I try to reboot my Discord. I will quickly jump into the match to see what is going on. We are in lap 2. Not is clearly leading. With Luxi and Rectardin very close. So this will be a very close round, guys. This is why I still have Skype installed. Yeah. Oh, Goku with the mistake. Let's see if Luxy can finish this. And then after a round, I want to get back into the call with Deft. Let's see if we can do it. There is this weird instance where I just have RTC connecting bugs on Discord and I just cannot call with anyone. All right, so Luxy takes it before Rectordan. Let's see if we can join the call again. There we go. I should be back here, Deft.
Thank God.
All right,
I
there
have
we
no
go.
I was. My stream seems fine and your stream seems fine.
Yeah, it is totally fine. I got the RTC connecting no root bug on
Oh,
Discord,
yeah.
so I had to
Yeah.
restart
Okay.
it. I'm sorry, dude, but we are back right now. Let's go.
All right. Cool. Nice to see you again. So I'm not sure if they actually heard my round 1 cast. So as we
Yeah,
see,
we did.
Okay, so the map seems to be progressing as well for red team as you can really expect, and all the lead that blue team accumulated is really just completely gone, as Noff is no longer able to really hard carry this particular map, and it is Luxy actually who's stepping into his own, as we know he is a very, very strong flat map player, and he's really showing that right here, as he
Oh my
literally
god.
just slides out the moment I say that. This is actually why I'm trying to reach affiliates, so we can have a caster curse emote, because I feel we really need it right about now for what
Yeah.
I'm doing to these poor people. With that in mind, though, so Luxy now in last place, trying to make the comeback happen. He got one more lap to make it happen, and he is trying to catch up to Rick Tarden. Looking like a blue round, and they really do need it considering the current circumstance. Let's see whether Luxy can use this corner to his advantage. Yes, he understands it better. He clears Rectarden with ease. Gigasan drops away, unfortunately, so the round cannot possibly be red. But Luxy will save a couple of points thanks to these mistakes and finish in 4th place. Noff takes the round in a very, very strong 125.5. It is going to be the first blue round. Very, very well done. Blue team scoring
Nice.
a very important point for them. They were in dire need of that.
All right. So 1-3 indeed in points there for teams. Interesting.
As someone can maybe post the multi-stream link again if you are interested for the new viewers who might not be aware that we are capturing a POV at the same time as this.
Yes.
Thank you,
there
Devil.
go.
Love you very much.
Make sure to follow Dev's channel as well, guys. Make sure to boost him as well, because we are with the two of us, of course. So check out the multi-stream, multiple POVs here for the BFNL going on. That is always very nice as we carry on into lap number 2 here. So we see Akari is leading now in front of Luxy and Goku, and not pretty far away together with Gigasan. So that is interesting. Let's see who takes this round. Luxy looking pretty good.
Yeah, so Akari is actually, he sort of figured it out. He does still have small mistakes, but considering his relative experience, he's actually figured this map out very well. It is a train map, obviously. People had the chance to play this ahead of time, but still, having a sort of intuitive understanding of how to take these corners, especially since they're perhaps not the most traditional flat map ever. I think that is pretty commendable from him, and he's doing well for himself with 16 points on this map. And
yeah,
he does need quite a few points to actually make it through, as Goku leading into the final turn. Will he get sniped by Ekarace?
No.
Not quite. And it is, I think, a blue round. It is indeed. So Goku taking his team on his back and getting some very important points. He was in dire need of those. But very well driven. Ekarace in a 125.8. That is very well done from him. Keeping that personal best on the level of the other players and also scoring a lot of points means he's in a good position overall. Really something to be proud of.
And interesting, I think, to point out as well, where we saw PB's very big gap on the last map. Now the PBs are very close, I think. Really close. And that is what we can expect.
And they're also quite close with the other divisions, but to be entirely fair, I think it is well known that this division, despite perhaps being nominally weaker, you've got Goku incredibly strong, you've got Luxy, obviously a very talented player, especially in terms of flat maps. You have Gigasan, never to be discounted. You have Noff, who obviously actually is very strong at NASCAR despite any despite a preference for maybe fun speed and banked corners. This round, though, deserves a bit of special mention because it is really close, but the blue
Yeah.
team now with a strong advantage thanks to Nov and Goku heading into lap 3, but the problem is they have to preserve it and they have to take that difficult corner well. Goku almost on the Ramstein, but he does save himself. Still, Luxie's catching up, but he doesn't have a very good line for this.
Ooh,
Still,
Eka
Goku's line
race.
is even worse, and Eka
Oh
Race
my god.
moving forward with an incredible snipe. The Turkish superstar he does drop
Oh.
off a little bit and he will be sniped by Goku at the end, but that was such a good potential
Oh.
comeback. Blue team will secure the round thanks to that mistake, and Nov again incredibly strong, 125.5, keeping it very close in terms of the actual times. Very
Yeah,
well
and
done.
Eka race there seems to have figured out a very nice line because we have seen him multiple laps gain a lot of time there on his competitors. He just cannot quite finish the round there for himself. So let's see if he can do it here with a little mistake in the beginning, not actually hitting the wall, and he is dead out of this round.
Yeah, Race unfortunately also touches the wall. The same thing that I said about the previous map applies here. If you lose your flow, there's just no way you're actually going to be able to make the following turns, especially not in a way that's really fast. Now, this is a properly fast round that's happening at the front here. Gigasan and Luxie carrying red team. Despite that, Gigasan
Oof.
crashes out and Goku is overtaking Luxie. And look at this. Despite the fact that red team got off to a 3-0 start, it is actually blue team that made up these 3 rounds and is now even in a potential position to take the lead after starting 0-3. So very strong comeback from blue team. That being said, Luxie's going to make that as hard as possible. Goku with a bit of a suboptimal line in the start-finish straight, not exactly going to be able to take a lot of time away from Luxie. He'd have to have a surreal line right here, and he has a
Oh.
lot of speed. Oh god, that is a
Ooh.
great line, but his disadvantage was a bit too big. Can he actually recover it? He's risking everything he has. He can complete the
Oh
snipe.
my god.
Into the finish line, he doesn't
No!
manage to do
Oh
it.
my god, they drive the same time! Can you believe it? What a fight! What a last round, holy
But
moly.
it
And
is a
now the
blue.
round is red. Oh no, it's blue, sorry. The round is blue. Oh my god.
The round is blue because Gigasan actually dropped to Rectarden, so
Oh,
Rectarden best teammate award and now beating Gigasan on a flat map. Now
wow.
that's just blue team doing well, so Rectarden, despite not having a lot of solo points, he's showing exactly why he's the leader of the teammate challenge, why you want Rectarden on your team. He's not just the best teammate, but he also demoralizes the enemy team every time he talks, and this is really important, for blue team's success. You put Goku and Nov skill and Rectarden's mental fortitude on one team, and you can really see why blue team is very strong this week.
Amazing to see. All right, so pretty close. Blue team with a very nice turnaround. Let's see if they can keep it up here. Again, a nice and fast round happening at the front. Gigasan again taking first place, but he has not been able to finish too many rounds. Actually last in individual points while his pace has been on point. He cannot carry on and he will hit the bug there. Has to give first place to Goku. Not a huge bug for him, but he will be a bit further away now.
And Luxie's now trying to complete the comeback, but he's very far away, and there are 4/10 of a second in a single lap. Even for someone as proficient at flat maps as him, this is really difficult to come back from. He would have to rely on some big mistakes happening from Goku and Nov, and I don't think either of them is going to give him that big mistake.
Oh,
Both of them
Goku.
strong players. Goku does take it risky, but I think he should be out safe.
He's
Should be a
alive.
blue round quite safely.
Wow.
And they are now on a 5-round streak of
That
wins.
is insane.
Incredible from blue team. Goku and Nov, the consistency out of this world. Just
Wow.
able to completely take this map away from red team, so I don't
That is
know, it was a good
insane.
start for red team, and at some point they took the overall lead, but now they are losing quite heavily. And, blue team's going to be in a good position to actually seal the team match on map 3 if this continues, if they can actually
Yeah.
finish this with a 7-round streak to go 7-3. Can you imagine that? Going from 3-0 to 3-7? Red team's gonna be very demoralized. That being said,
Ooh, not.
they've got a decent chance this round, although Gigasun dropping a lot of pace. This is a good thing. Rectarden at the front, he drops, so it's only Goku protecting blue team right now. Red team as good a chance as they've ever had. Noff is quite far behind, and Rectarden not quite there. So it's on Goku to maintain that first position, and he doesn't manage to do it. Caster
Ooh.
Curse in full effect.
Oh
Gigasun
my.
and Rectarden now taking it. Rectarden actually taking the fight to the front. Not what I expected to see at the beginning of this round. He has a decent line, but he doesn't have as much speed. Gigasun and Luxie in a good position to take this home heading into lap 3. But
Oh
Gigasun,
no.
oh, second caster curse in a single round.
Ah.
How many more can we have? Luxie now inherits the lead. Rectarden in hot pursuit. Where is Noff? Noff is in 4th position. Eka Race with a strong 3rd position to protect red team. Can they actually let the finish line? No, Noff
Come
crashes
on.
it away. But Goku inherits his position. Not that bad. Red team should still be winning this one unless something terrible happens in the final corner.
Oh, they should take it here. Luxie winning and
Look,
Akara is in third place. So that looks
it
good
is
for
clean
Red.
enough.
Yeah.
It is clean enough, and it is a red round, despite some unfortunate caster curses
Oh
midway
my days.
through it all.
All right.
Talk about an unfortunate set of circumstances. So, uh,
Ay, ay, ay.
about to see what happens high level here. Well, yes, this is Division 3. We're not exactly watching the very best on offer in BFNL here, but this is where you can go to Rayma's channel and mine and watch the Division 1 replay and see what
Exactly.
happened in the highest division of BFNL this week, as Ekares
Ooh.
just goes flying straight across the Bosporus Strait
Ay, ay, ay.
onto the other side of Istanbul. Blue team in a strong position to take the 6th point, but Gigasun and Luxie might still have something to say about that. Look at the competition at the front right now. This
Super
is about as
close.
good as we've ever seen it. Luxie, very strong time. Let's see what happens. Going
Ooh.
into this integral corner here, looks like most of them take it well, but Luxie has a lot of speed. Not more than off though,
Oh
and he touches the
no! How
wall.
is this possible, man? Luxie destroyed. Oh my god.
And
Goku
now
and
it
not
is
still
looking
alive.
as blue as you can possibly ask for it to be. I don't know how blue team can throw this round, although Goku just gives me an idea.
Oh
Noff
no.
now in the lead from Gigasun. Rectarden in that all-important 3rd position. Surely they can finish this one off and not see any unfortunate snipes at the finish line as we see Gigasan trying to snipe at the final corner, but I don't think he's got the speed.
No.
Noff with a very strong
Wow.
125.5 to seal the 6th point. This is now multiple map points for blue team, and they look to extend their overall lead.
Very nice. Okay. So red team, they got a point back, but now blue 6-4, and they are on match point here. So let's see if Goku, Not, and Raktarden can close it out. Gigasan, Luxie, and Akarays need to step it up to take some more points. Interesting to point out here is that we do not see huge gaps in the individual points as it goes for like one person walking away with the points. Luxie is first, Goku only on 5 points there. So yeah, pretty close, more close than the last map that we saw. So let's see how this plays out then.
As
Goku.
Goku is sent away, so red team with about as good of a chance as they can. Luxie and Gigasan, their 2 main carries. Well, I say 2 main carries, it's actually Ekares that has more points than Gigasun, but Gigasun is the one that has the pace to be in these first positions.
Yeah,
It would just be very good for his team if he could finish them. As I say that, he drops 3 positions thanks to a very small mistake, but he is still in the running. He can absolutely come back with his formidable skills. Releases just as I say that, so now he's again 2/10 of a second back. I should really stop spectating him. Let's spectate Luxie instead and see what's gonna happen.
all right. Oh, Eka race with a drift. So it seems that he is out of here, at least out of the top 4. Rectard, Gigasan, Luxie, and Not fighting for the first positions as we go into the tricky turn. Let's see who will have the best line here. It seems Not. Very well done. Luxie drifting away. Gigasan drifting as well. Oh my days. And that was from so close to so far away. And Blue with an easy win. There you go. 125.62 by Not. Well done by him, and Blue seal this map.
Yeah, map
All
3
right.
it is, and This was I feel Red Team should be really disappointed that they couldn't convert this map with Luxi and Gigasun on their team. I feel like they really had the talent, but they just I don't know what the point of risking so much, especially for Gigasun was. Because
Yeah.
it's not like he had, an excess of points from before, and now he's just, I think, given away a little bit too much for my liking.
Yeah. Very true. So yeah, Luxi 46 points, not 45. Very close there, and that was a very
As we
interesting
are
map.
going to do the point total after 2 maps right away,
All
so
right.
please just give me a second to calculate these.
Good. All right, so Dev will take a second here as we are already on map number 3 of the evening, Chicanes by Bellman.
And this
And
is the second train map of the evening.
yeah,
So players had a chance to train it, but on this kind of map, training doesn't help you all that much. It doesn't really save you from the ugly bugs which can hit you basically at any point in this map. So
yeah,
to be seen what happens. Okay, so point totals actually looking like something I can actually calculate by hand for the first time. Don't even need a calculator for this one.
aha,
Although I am still gonna check just in case we say something wrong about some of the players we wouldn't want to take away from them. Okay, excellent. So we're gonna line the players up to see their current standings and see what they need to do in order to secure a bit of a more favorable position in the up and coming maps. So as we head into the warm-ups on map number 3, we're gonna go through the point totals. In last place right now, Rectardin with 64 points, so not really doing too well for himself on either map. He's not too far behind, but I think compared to his actual pace, he has definitely underperformed, so not
yeah,
exactly the best showing from him. That being said, though, his team is still winning, so he's going to stay the best in the teammate challenge, which I think is really what he's playing for here. He's playing to demoralize the enemy team because they're losing to the person with the smallest amount of points. I think that's what Rick strategy is tonight, and I think he's done that very well.
executing very well.
Eka Race now in 5th position with 70 points, exactly 35 on both of the maps. Doing well for himself, unfortunately in 5th place, but he is close enough to 3rd place, so maybe a comeback will be on the cards. Gigasan with 72 points in 4th place, not doing all that well for himself. I think he should have expected more, especially seeing how Noff and Luxi are performing. This isn't very good. Goku with 76 points. I think this is also an underperformance, but to be fair, he's got to contend with cats, children, and the bugs, so obviously not doing as well as he could have. Luxi with 91 points, solidly in 2nd position, doing quite well for himself on both maps relative to his opposition. And finally, Noff in a solid command at the 1st place, 109 points. I'd say a very well done and executed race from him thus far. Very well done, consistent, never too far behind, and this is why he is in the 1st position very, very easily.
All right, so not with the first place there. Very strong first map
And
for him.
obviously, this is the time where you tell me whom you would like to see on map number 3, their POV.
All right, so maybe someone in chat can suggest anyone. We got, I think, Gigasan, Eka Not, and Rectardin left for a POV in Deft's stream. So let us know, guys. We should Deft spectate, and you can, of course, watch that POV. So Insane Character is saying not here. And
I've got 1 vote for Ekaris and 1 vote for Nov. I need someone to break the tie. Maybe
all right,
some other opinions as well.
let it here, guys. Meanwhile, we are already on the way with round number 1. And let's see.
Actually, I think that because Nov is a member of DGF, I think the last map is going to be super interesting for him. So this map, we're going to go with Ekaris.
All right.
As a Nov on the final map, made by a DGF member, and that really suits DGF players in terms of style, I think I really want to see that. So we're going to save Nov as the final POV, and we're going to see Ekaris on the 3rd map. So,
Okay.
his performance so far, he's in 5th position, but he is only 6 points behind Igasan, who is in, Goku, who is in 3rd, and 2 points behind, Gigasan in 4th place. So, he still has a chance to come back in this match and secure a very, very good position. for himself. And obviously, Focus also notices this map was made by BG Bellman, so very, very good reason to spectate a BG member on this map as well. The most recent addition to their team, I believe. Who's in second place right now and keeping it a solidly
Very
red round
well.
despite the fact that Nov is dominant at the lead of it all.
All right.
Looking good so far. Looking very impressive indeed. And actually, Ekare is keeping up very well with him, so looks like he did practice this map well. He's actually
Wow.
might even be in a position to overtake Not with a good final corner. And very, very well done from Ekare here. He's looking to just take second place home very easily, get himself an influx of points on a buggy map.
All
He can
right.
actually benefit from this really, really much, as we see a lot of players having difficulty finishing.
Well done by him. And
Well done by
it's
him,
a
and it
red
is a red
round
round.
indeed. Yeah. So red taking the first point. Very important, I think, for them. Please no 07 not says, so he wants his team to step it up. Rectardin and Goku really struggling on the first round on this map, and not with a clean win again wants his team to step in here. So let's see if they can.
Yeah, so he really wants to make.
All right, Goku leading here as Deft just needs to take off his headset. Luxy in the lead here.
Apologies,
That is
small IRL interruption.
totally
We're
fine.
back and ready to go. So right now, I think Ekarace is really looking at where Gigason, Rectardin, and Goku are finishing. So I think at this point, he can't catch up to Nov, and he can't catch up to Luxy either. So he's really just trying to make up the biggest amount of points to them, and I'm not sure if he can necessarily, because this round he's dead last, but Nov now makes a mistake, so I don't know. Red team wants to get a dominant win on map number 3, actually.
Yeah, to keep it close still in total team points.
Because, yeah, the team points are not looking good for them, I believe. I think it is 14 to 9 or something like that for blue team.
All
So
right.
they need a dominant win on this map, and right now it's not looking all that good. It is a red round, but only barely. So they would ideally want to keep these positions or even make up a position if Goku can snipe them, or if Nov can snipe Ekarace, it's going to be no good, as Rectardin firmly in control of the lead, at least now, as Nov's speed through that section was incredible. Overtakes Ekarace, who took a bit of a safer line, and it's looking very blue right now. Red team need to step it up if they want to save this round and stop blue team from immediately equalizing.
Rectardin, he makes a mistake. Can he stay in second place? I don't know. Luxy is close. He cannot take Rectardin, but red team
Yeah,
takes
this
one
is
and
a red
three.
round.
There we
Yeah,
go.
so Rectardin dropping to
Oh.
Gigason is actually what makes it a red round.
He goes
And
mental in
Rectardin is...
chat.
I guess Rectardin
All right.
Rectardin is a good teammate, but he's not being very good to himself.
Oh my
And to be
days.
fair, he is in last place in solo points right now, so I guess he can be feeling quite frustrated right about now, because obviously we saw that he had a lot of pace on most of the maps, but he wasn't actually able to convert that into a great number of points. So,
No.
you know,
God.
kind of wants to step it up a bit.
Yeah.
On this particular map, although that is very difficult to say considering just how unstable this map is to drive, and even if you drive with reasonable safety, there's no telling what's going to happen to you in some of these corners. Very difficult to keep it together, and with high pace, Goku sliding out proves the point very, very well. Looking, I don't know, it's still looking like the round should swing blue since Rectarded and Noff are in good attacking positions on
Ah.
Luxie, and we know both of them have good pace. We'll see what happens. So
Oh,
far so good,
not
although
for the crash.
Yeah, so this is exactly what happens. He just got flung into the air for reasons honestly unknown to pretty much anyone spectating this right now, which is, you know, half TMNF and half the map kind of provoking it. It is what it is. They do survive this corner, and the round is looking very red right about now, so this is good. Another 3-0 start, but I should remind you, they also started 3-0 on the previous map and then got beaten 7-4, so, you know, good starts for red team do not necessarily have to equate good results, as Ekarace and Gigasan each make a small mistake. And if we focus on Goku right now, he's going to try to go for the snipe. He's in a good position to avoid these kinds of things.
Rectarden not
Let's
too
see
far
if...
behind Luxie as well, but
Yeah, so Rectarden is now going to try to avenge his snipe from last round by sniping Luxie in the final corner. Let's see if he can actually do that. He would have to count on a mistake from Luxie or a bad line. I don't think he's going to get that.
no.
So the round is looking quite red. Ekare survives, and Goku actually makes a terrible mistake. It's
Oh
looking
my
very
days.
red right about now. And again, red team off to a 3-0 start, but they've choked one of those before. They really need to step it up now and make sure that they convert this 3-0 start if they want to keep it competitive in terms of the overall team score. As a reminder, obviously, the winning team each receives +2 points in the final standings, which is equivalent to 1 position.
Right.
Lucky Shot says in chat that these crashes can be avoided very easily. The guys are just kind of bad. And to be fair, Lucky Shot was the one that scored, I believe, the most points in Division 1 on this map. So he has a certain position to speak. The unfortunate problem is that even the other good Division 1 players don't really agree with it. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Lucky Shot was just 5 light years ahead of everyone else, or maybe he's just completely nonsensical. Not sure. Not
Bold
sure which one
statement
it is.
indeed. Yeah, yeah.
Not sure which one it is. This map obviously quite difficult as we see Goku now to avoid the black lines and most rams. But see, the problem is avoiding rams on a map like this is a bit of a, how should we say this, statistical impossibility. Same is kind of true of the other maps, as we see
Very good.
Rectarden unfortunately dropping away and Goku dropping away, so the round is looking red despite a pretty bad start to it. Looking quite red, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, very red right now. If they all can keep their place, and Luxie not too
Oh,
far
Gigasan,
behind
that's a
Lost.
dreadful error. So, what are your opinions on, Gigasan's economy class flight back to 6th place right now? I wonder what your thoughts are about that.
Yeah, he is out. Unforgiving here. The Bucks as not keeps it in first place here. With Luxie right behind the round. Will it be blue or will it be a draw like this? A pretty big gap
This
between
is
players.
this is a not actually sure. This is a draw position, I think.
I think so as well.
Yeah, this is
Luxie,
no, I am lying. This is not a draw position. This is a blue round if it finishes this way.
all right.
Okay, so it looks like Ekarace with a good position, but unfortunately don't think it's nearly enough. This should be a blue round. I believe it is. It is 11 to 10 in points. So yes, looking like a blue
Yep.
round. They're on the board, and maybe this is the beginning of another red team choke, like
Aye,
we've
aye,
seen
aye.
on the previous map. Obviously, nobody likes being called a choker, but, well, you never know.
It sometimes happens.
We'll see what happens. As Goku not doing well for himself on this map. Rest of the players, though, very close together.
Yeah.
Which I don't think actually plays in Ekarace's favor, because he's the one that needs to be making up points. He's not really managing to do that. Despite pretty consistent start, he doesn't have the pace to really get a first place in most of these rounds. So we'll see what happens.
All right. So Akari is looking for a good performance maybe in this round. And blue team looking for more points. So the pack really close. As we see the first drift out there by Giga-san. Oh, and he hits the wall as well. All right, so Giga-san is completely out there. He will drop a lot of points. Let's see
And
if
just as I said,
Ekarace
that
can...
Ekarace...
Oh,
Oh,
no!
no.
I just wanted to swap to him, and then there he goes. Oh my god.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate, and it's also unfortunate for Red Team because this means that two of
Yeah.
their members made the two most significant mistakes of the round. So it's looking like Red Team choke effect is in full effect right now. Normally when I caster curse someone by saying the choke is in full effect, they should start performing well. So hopefully this actually happens. The caster curse should apply to bad things as
Oh,
well as good things.
Luxie.
It doesn't really, as Red Team has just choked
Yeah.
the shit out of this round and it's looking as blue as ever. Looking like a blue team ace, actually. For the
Yeah,
first time
easy.
this night.
Yeah,
Wow.
that should happen actually. So reverse caster curse. Oh my
Yeah,
days.
caster, say a bad thing and it's gonna come true. Say a good thing and a bad thing comes true. That's just very rude, actually.
That
God
is
is
rude.
playing mean tricks on casters, and this is not fair. We get slandered for Lady Lux messing around. That's not really nice, you know? In fairness though, it's looking decently okay so far.
Yeah,
Looking like a blue
Goku.
team ace, and Nov is not going to ruin that ace. It is a
Oh,
strong time. Goku with the 6 points he needed, and it's a blue team ace for, I think, the first time this evening.
yeah.
Ace by
Nice.
Nov.
GG. Yeah. All right. So they put a point on the board once again. 2-3. Red
Yeah,
team.
and like, red
Yeah.
team need to win this map strongly. Like,
Yeah.
emphasis, they kind of want to win with a 7-2, 7-3 to
Yeah.
give themselves a good chance, and then they'd still have to win the final map, which is going to be hard because Noff is on the blue team, and he's very strong at the kind of map that we're going to see final up this evening. So red team should really have, taken a 5-0 lead if they wanted it, and now choke being in effect kind of means that if blue team actually win this by any significant margin, it's going to be over in the team points, and that's not going to be very good for people like Eka Race himself and Luxi
And
and
Luxy
Gigason
as
as
well.
well.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
really want those kind of extra points, and they're not about to get them, so not looking very good for them at all. And
Yeah, they should step it
I
up
don't
now.
know. I don't know, not looking all that great from the others so far, so
Luxy also very far behind already. And the rest of the field pretty close here. Arden looking at Akara is just driving away now. So there we go. Very close going into lap number 2. Gigasan taking the lead just in front of Not. Let's see if they can keep it up here, Red Team. Places 1 and 3 right now for Gigasan and Akarace. Not super close behind Gigasan. Let's see how this plays out. Very interesting round. Also in terms of team points. Gigasan should try to bring it home for his team right now. Let's see. Next couple of turns here coming in. Oh, nicely. Oh no, he takes the risk. He goes onto the ram and gets instantly punished for it.
and
Gigasan
because this mistake
out of it.
and
Yeah,
because this was a huge mistake, this pretty much makes the round blue, so
yeah,
Gigasan unfortunately doesn't only doom himself by losing a lot of solo points, he also dooms his team actually by prolonging this map even further, so
Akara's
not looking
important
very good
second
for
place
him.
though
Yeah,
for him.
Akare is getting that second place. He's really
Yeah,
been upping his consistency, and I think unfortunately for him, even though he's been very consistent, he's really being hurt by the fact that he can't really take that first position ever. He's always going to be finishing +3 to +5, and you might think that this is a good thing, but unfortunately, it would seem that it's just not good enough to actually bring him into a significant advantage compared to the people he's trying to catch up to. He really would have wanted a bit more than a couple point lead, so I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know what I would suggest him to do. I would kind of suggest him to try and stay consistent and pray that mistakes happen.
yeah, which we have seen, of
But at the
course,
same time,
happen a
when
lot.
he's in 6th place at the very beginning like this, he's not in a position to really benefit from these mistakes as much as he
Yeah,
normally would be. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Have to do something about it. Oh my
Oh,
god.
that was so ugly, dude. Oh my days. Two players at the same time in exactly the same point. Was Luxy and Goku. Goodbye. And Akarace, still going consistent, didn't make that mistake, so finds himself in 4th place. Let's see if he can climb
Yeah,
up
but
a
he
bit
is in
more.
4th place, half a second, and now he also releases, so he's going to be losing speed,
Ah,
and that's kind of the problem. If someone ahead of him now makes a small mistake, he's not in a position to take advantage from it, and that's really what's hurting him in this map. Yes, he has consistency down pat, but that's not good enough. He does overtake Rictarden now, though, and this actually gives Red a fighting chance. That being said, Noff in 1st place makes this very difficult, and Goku is far ahead of Luxi, who made a huge mistake. Apparently didn't recover nearly as well as Goku actually did. Kind of
all
weird,
right.
but fair
Yeah,
enough, I guess. Rictarden keeping it ahead, though, and Nov keeping it ahead means this is looking about as blue as you can ask for. And the red team choke is in full effect, going
yep.
from 3-0 to 3-4 exactly like previous map. I really don't know what it is about it. Like, the players have pace, but their consistency is just nowhere to be found this entire evening. I think they should have really comfortably won map 2. I think that was the map they should have won if they wanted a chance.
Yeah.
I think it should have been closer on map 1 as well, and doing this is just doing them zero favors whatsoever. Looking like a completely round. Looks he might not even be able to finish. That's not gonna do him any favors. Can he make it to the finish line with 5 seconds to spare? Well, now
Oh,
that he touches the wall, Ah, he does, but only
One.
barely.
Oh my days. Luxy. Jesus. Needs to get it together. Drops down some individual points as well. Now with the same points as Gigasan, not with 32. Rectardin and Akare is in a solid third place, but as you pointed out earlier, he needs a bigger gap than that. With 25 points, it will just not be enough.
Yeah, that's a bit of an ugly thing. You think that Ekares was super consistent this whole map, but he's only got 25 points to show for it, and most other players have about 22, right? So it's not like he's making up a significant advantage to anyone, and that's really gotta hurt, because if you're him, I feel like this entire evening your performance has actually been quite decent by the standards of a pretty fresh NASCAR player.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you kind of want that to be rewarded as well, but you're just slightly outclassed in terms of pace. But I'm sure that in a couple of months, once he drives more NASCAR maps, once he gets more accustomed to the style and starts risking more, he's really going to come into his own, and I feel like he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, I think
He's
so as
definitely
well.
showing he has what it takes now. Rectardin, what was that, man?
He
It was
just
right
went
ahead of you.
straight.
You just have to steer to the right, man. What was that? It's not even a bug. That was just like, bro.
Oh, he just forgot to steer. All right, so he is out.
Okay, so he did ram bug.
Oh, he
Devil,
did ram.
very attentive and observant, notices that the bug actually did send him, but that looks very hilarious.
Hey,
I'm
but
gonna put
Eka
that out.
race.
Now look at this,
Place. Let's see.
yeah, so look at this. Red team actually now counter-acing blue team.
That would be in. Wow, what are we seeing now?
Nekare is in a position to take 5 points, which is kind of important. The problem is that the players he's competing against are going to take 6 and 4 points respectively, so that's the kind of ugly thing. But look at this, Nekare is fighting for first place. Can he actually make it happen in the final corner? Look at that pace.
Nicely
Will
done.
he
Oh,
snipe?
look!
No, the airtime took airtime. That was what cost him the round.
All right, but that's indeed
Now,
a reverse
red
ace.
team.
GG.
Hey,
Ace.
it's for red team.
Very, very nice. Okay, so now they actually need to keep on winning, and but if it is it too late, like you pointed out last map with not, that will be
Oh, and
very
exactly,
hard.
and look at this, like Rectard and also Goku also mentioning, how do you want us to win if you make us laugh so much with your crashes? And that's exactly what I've been trying to tell you. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how many solo points Rectarden gets. This is why he's on the top of the teammate challenge. He's got it all. He has, he has the mental warfare. In
Oh,
chat, he has the mental warfare by intentionally crashing to distract the enemy team. So he's always really thinking about how to mentally get ahead of the
mentally
other team,
break
and
it.
then
Yeah.
his skilled players can take advantage of the resulting mistakes. I think it's a really unique relationship in Trackmania.
Oh man.
He really discovered the alternate strategy to playing NASCAR. You don't have to be good. You have to make sure your opponents are worse than you, and he's really making that happen for us here tonight.
Very true.
As Devil notices in chat, are you not entertained as Gigas on another economy flight straight to Narnia? Not really sure what the point of that was. Whether that was a bug or just inattentive driver. Going out into lap number 2, look at this. Ekares again in a good position to benefit.
Ooh.
Look at this. Oh my god, he's surging into first
Wow.
place. Ekares, what is this? Yes, he's not going to help it because Luxy and Gigason are out. It's going to be a blue round in all likelihood, but
That
Ekares
is good
fighting
for him.
for the lead. Look
Yeah.
at this.
Very good. If this stays like this, if he can actually take first place, let's see.
Okay,
Battling
so takes the
with-
safe line. Oh, that was bad.
no.
The safe line ruined his flow. Like, his timing would have been good if he didn't save the previous turn, but because he did, his muscle memory, he turned in way too early. This happens more often than you think. Like, it happens because of nerves. You kind of miss. You're not really sure if you're going to make the turn. You're not 100% confident. You release a bit, but then your muscle memory kicks in and you turn in too early or too late. He does finish in second place, though, just ahead of Goku. So he's still securing the 5-point finishes. Very important for him indeed. It is a blue round, and blue team looking to kind of call it quits in terms of the team match very quickly. So, I don't know. Red team just very underwhelming performance. I think particularly from Gigasan. I think that in this field I would have really expected him to be top 3 very comfortably, but he's not been doing that. for us at all. And
No,
Goku, who's handling his cat, kids, and the race, is kind of managing to
and
perform about as
bugs.
well as he is, which is just, I don't know,
Yeah,
man. Like the kids, okay, I get it, but the cat, man, when the cat walks over your keyboard, yeah,
yeah,
that's
then it's
just
done.
yeah, that kind of handicap, and you're not that much better than him. Yeah,
But as we
I don't
see,
know,
actually,
man.
Akarace with that last round performance takes him to 35 points. Gigasan on 27. Does that help him a bit in the individual battle that he had with the other placed guys? Or is he still very far away?
Yeah,
I
I'm
think he
wondering
did
what's gonna
well.
happen. We're gonna count the points after this map. Unfortunately, though, there's no big lead forming because this map is as inconsistent as it is.
Yeah.
You know, someone like Noff is confirming his first place very, very strongly. I think at this point, it's almost mathematically impossible for him to lose it if he keeps driving like this. But still, you know, the performance you would kind of expect from someone who played Division One.
Yeah, for sure. He's doing very well indeed. Let's see.
Who is the most dominant Division 1 player in BFNL? Last year it was Racerlight, and this year it is Dopamine, so we'll see what happens. Dopamine has currently the maximum amount of points you can get from BFNL, I think. I didn't actually check his Biathlon week results, but on every week that wasn't Biathlon, Dopamine has the maximum amount of points, so team win plus solo win.
I think he didn't play biathlon. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
No,
technically
he didn't.
speaking,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't really care about his biathlon results. So, in terms of NASCAR, he is absolutely unbeatable right now, and the rest of it, well, who cares? Goku and Noff leading this time. It's looking like a blue map, and it's looking
Yeah.
like blue end of it all, which is disappointing for
Oof.
Red Team because they had every chance to convert it and they just threw it away. Looks he makes a nice snipe happen on Goku, but it doesn't help him whatsoever.
Looks like blue match. They are just walking away with it. Now match point for them. So we could as well go on to the last map after this round. Let's see. Ekara is doing well in second place actually. 36
He is in
points for
second
him.
place, but the problem is he didn't really make a significant amount of points back on the players he's competing against.
Yeah.
He was super consistent. Let me make this very clear. But you know, Luxi might have been far less consistent, but in the rounds that he was winning, he was really winning hard. You know,
Yeah.
pace is unfortunately keeping him back a bit. Because in terms of consistency, I think Echo Race was doing pretty well for himself. What are those deady gaps though? 150 to 154. Yeah, I mean, that's just the difference. Like, NASCAR is extremely top heavy. I don't think you understand just how much better Division 2 players are than Division 3 players on average, and Division 2 1 players better than Division 2 players on average. When Mew, who was 6th and 7th place in Division 1 on 2 occasions, came down to Division 2, he absolutely dominated. So, don't make a mistake about just how much better the best NASCAR players are than anyone else. Like a Devil or a Dopamine or a Spider or any good NASCAR player. It's how much better they are than the average Joe. So it's not nearly as close as you think. And on a map like this, especially
Yeah.
when consistency is basically impossible, you're going to have a very, very large spread of deady times.
Yeah, I think indeed. Maybe last map, the flat map, will have a little bit smaller gaps, but on a map like this, it's just very
Yeah, the
hard to
last
get the
no,
consistency in.
the last map is absolutely not going to be any closer than this one, but
No.
the flat map was pretty close, so we
Yeah, the
saw
flat
we
map
saw
was
smaller
hard.
gaps there. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
All right.
people can learn how to drive that in a reasonable amount of time. I'm not saying they can master it, but they can learn how to drive it. Looking like a red round though.
Yeah.
Echo Race unfortunately dropping. Actually,
Oh.
red team barely won this round.
Oof.
Luxi was actually sniped by 2 players at the finish line. They barely scrape away with it. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna help them because blue team actually has a big lead in rounds. So red team would have to do something
Extraordinary.
insane.
Yeah.
Something insane on the final map. And that's kind of hard because, like I said, I expect Nov to actually just take off on the final map. I think that map is basically exactly right up his alley. I mean, it was mapped by Miraco, and we saw all DGF players perform very well on it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know, players like Lucky Shot and Miraco and people who generally have experience with these kind of mixed maps, people who have you know, speed mapping experience and know what a speed slide is, basically. Something very few NASCAR players,
Yeah, yeah.
pure NASCAR players anyway, generally know how to do. Uh, I think they're going to have a pretty big advantage. So to
Yeah,
be seen what's going to happen.
we'll
This
see.
round is looking very red as well, and Ekare is maintaining that consistency. That being said, that's a small mistake there. Still, a small mistake that shouldn't cost him too much if he can regain his flow by the beginning of lap 2. He does fall behind quite hard now thanks to that small error. He can still finish well, but oh, he's releasing very, very hard now.
All
We'll see what
right.
happens.
Just a small gap
Uh,
between him and the front now.
So someone in chat does notice that this isn't very impressive, and I agree with you. This is Division 3 without a couple of players, and let's be quite real. This isn't exactly primetime NASCAR action. Two of these maps are completely untrained. Two of these maps are trained, and let's be real, the players probably didn't actually invest that many time in it. But I do recommend you come watch Division 1 next week, and maybe you're gonna see what the best players that actually some time into it are capable of doing. As we're looking at a red team ace, is this
Yeah.
possible? Red
Wow.
team putting it to the final possible round with an ace? Can this be?
This
Yes, it
is
is. It is
actually
a
true.
red team ace.
Yeah. Oh
Bring
my
it to
days.
final point. So the last round ends the map no matter what. Whichever team wins takes it home. Obviously, we can also have a draw, but I don't think we've seen one
Ah.
this night. I don't
No,
think we've seen a draw all night long.
not yet. That would be funny now. All right. So map closing out here, and the players on the way almost to the next one. Let's see who takes it down here for the 6-7. So pretty long stay on this map, where red had a very nice start with the 3-0, then blue turned it around, and now it is just dead even. So blue, I think, actually liking that, defending their lead that they already had. And they will be looking good going into the last map of the evening here. Now let's see who takes down the last round. Giga-san slides out, very risky line, hits the wall, and he's
And
done.
interesting thing to note, so since we're talking about DGF players and the chat is also having a pretty active discussion about them, yes, the DGF players, a lot of them are very, very strong. So I had the pleasure of playing with KWS on my team for the SNC, and he was actually an integral part of our team, right? So he was playing with us almost every match week, and he was putting together very solid points on the board. I don't think he carried a single map, but then again, he didn't need to. He was a guest driver. Honestly, yeah, DGF, they do have some strong NASCAR players. That being said, they don't have an elite NASCAR player, but I kind of expect that considering, they made a completely different style. I think the very fact that they can compete at all and
Speaking
have
about
these strong
KWS,
players,
he just followed the
yeah.
channel. So welcome. Good stuff.
Yeah, so at the end of it all, it looks like a blue ace to just completely dash red team's hopes.
There we go. Strong performance in the end by them. Not and Goku being very close here in the end. 152.19 seals the deal for Not. And on to
Yeah,
the last map we go.
Noff with another massive solo performance from him, so looking good, looking really good. And we're gonna count the points at the end of this
Right.
map free and see what happens.
So last map coming in. That will be a pleasure to watch again.
It's
So
21-15 on...
21-15, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna count the points real quick.
All right. So as we just pointed out in chat, 21-15, the total team points right now in favor of blue team, of course. And the next map, guys, that will be very interesting. Let's straightly jump into it here. A last map by Miraco. Will be interesting how the players experience this. Very, funny map, really. Style that we do not really see that often in classical NASCAR tournaments. And there we go. So warm up for the players. Let's see how they move on about this map. And let's keep our eye on Not here, as we expect a good performance by him. DGF driver. Map made, of course, by Miraco.
I
Players now looking for it.
Deft favorize Ixon if you ever wanted to play TMNF ever again. I mean, I favorize him because he made a good decision never to play TMNF ever again. I support him for that wholeheartedly because this game is buggy as shit. I support Ixon, obviously. I support everyone that plays NASCAR for my country, and we've had some really insane players over the years. So obviously, Razi, Ixon, he was decent when he played. He's a cracked NASCAR player. I've seen Ixon play NASCAR. Jack Daniels, if any of you remember PGG Jack
PGG
Daniels,
Jack Daniels. Yeah.
in
Very
him as well.
nice.
So we actually had a pretty decent delegation of NASCAR players from Croatia, and obviously I support them all. Yes, I would be a fan of Ixon. I wouldn't favorize him, but I would be a fan.
Scorchback as well, Croatian. That's
Yes,
true,
him
yeah.
as well. Although I don't see him that often. Like I see him playing, but I don't see him actually show up on NASCAR servers. So fair enough, I guess. In terms of the points, we have two positions which are basically sealed, and then we have a very interesting battle.
All right, so first and last are sealed. That is my guess.
Actually, no. It is first and second that are basically
Oh,
sealed.
all right. Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. Last place is still Rectardin with 105 points, so he's not doing all that well for himself at all.
Okay.
Eka Race still in fifth. Actually, excuse me, I didn't order the players correctly. So Rectardin last
Oy.
with 105 points. Gigason fifth place, 114 points. Eka Race manages to overtake Gigason and go into fourth place with 116 points. Goku third place, only 1 point ahead of Eka Race, 117 points. Luxi 135 points, solidly second this evening, and Nov extends his lead, 168 points. First place is basically a foregone conclusion.
All right. Very interesting then.
Yeah,
let's
so this
see.
looks like a Nov Smurf map, and he is exactly the person we are going to be spectating on my stream. We'll be giving his POV for the final map. Map by his clanmate. I expect him to do very, very well.
All right.
Obviously, like Nov himself, being Bosnian, also very close to my heart, so I really hope he does very well on the final map to seal a dominant division-free victory. So very well done from him. He would really have to make a colossal throw happen not to take first place right now.
Yeah.
Pun intended. So we'll see what happens from here. And on this map, I don't really even know what to tell you about this map because this has very little to do with NASCAR. There are a lot of opportunities to actually speed slide to gain a speed advantage. In some aspects, it's pretty close to a NASCAR map, but in many other aspects, it really has nothing to do with it. And there are a lot of opportunities for people to bug out, so I don't know. I just wish the best of luck to everyone who has to play this map. Good
Right.
health and all that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
stay
Nov
healthy.
notices you have to release you have to release so much in these turns, and that's true, you actually do have to release a ton. So we'll be spectating Nov on my stream, if Devil can maybe paste the multi-stream link so you can take a look at how Nov is doing. As KWS in chat notices, Nov will take the world record if he gets a clean round.
All right.
Which I can't wait to see that. If he's capable of doing that,
yeah,
I want to see that, exactly. So let's take a look. Nov then, as Goku touches the wall immediately.
All right. So make sure indeed, guys, to watch the multi-stream with Deft's POV as well for everyone who is coming in right now. Deft with the POV of Not. We expect a lot from here. Goku already with a small mistake in Rectarnan as well. And we already see big gaps forming up here throughout the field. And we are not even yet.
Nov is leaving them in the dust. And,
Yeah,
I
he's
expect
just
this to
gone.
happen because, again, he's the only player, I think, out of these 6 who really has any experience with this kind of mapping style, you know?
Yeah.
For pure NASCAR players, this map feels undrivable because none of this has anything to do with pure NASCAR, right? Not to mention that if you're not really, intimately familiar, you might well end up crashing. You might think that this flat section has, I mean, that should be good for NASCAR players, but no, this is not a flow that you ever see in standard flat corners. So this entire map, I think, is, the fun speed players have really been dominating in this map compared to pure NASCAR players. I think that's personally fine. Maybe
Hmm.
it's a bit less fine because this is an untrained map and you had no idea that you would essentially be facing a huge disadvantage to everyone who knows how to play
Yeah,
speed.
yeah, very
You
true.
know,
Not with the
as
win.
Nov
Eka
finishes,
race in second.
yeah, Akira
Hmm.
is in second, well done, but it is a blue round, so nothing to be done here. And I think that with that, it is actually a blue team victory.
Yeah, I think so as well. 21-15 was the score, right? Yeah.
So Nov knows what this map is like because he was a stream
Hahaha.
watcher yesterday, so very well done. Goku again touching the wall early. 3 players touching the wall. I've got no idea what's going on. But to be fair, this is an untrained map, incredibly hard to actually drive for people who are primarily NASCAR players, and it's the final map on top of a very long match that has maps that last for 1 minute and 50. This was really, I don't know, a huge endurance test
Yeah,
from the BFNL organizers to put this map in 4th place. That's really dirty to do to someone.
very true. So multiple things being tested
No,
here for
Nez,
the races.
this isn't about the speed. This is about corner types. What makes this map weird for pure NASCAR players is that the corner types are not very much like a standard NASCAR map. Sure, like it has multi-lap styles, but it feels weird to play. And generally, the players that have sort of a fun speed background can figure it out very, very well. Some elements on this map really end up working in their favor. Uh, because we've seen that in almost every division. Like, you see Nov dominating here. We saw Miraco and Lucky Shot absolutely style on their respective divisions. That's really what I'm trying to impress, that this is very much atypical for a NASCAR map. As Nov improves his time by more than half a second, sealing a blue team
Wow.
ace. Looking like this one is at least going to be done quickly as red team is nowhere to be found. Ekaris with a solid 3 points, Rectarden with a solid 5 points. Nov dominant as usual, sealing that 1st place I think mathematically at this point. It would
Man,
have to
like
be an absolute miracle for him to lose it.
Ekare is pointing out, indeed, my god, that turn is weird. That pretty much sums up everything you just
As
said
I
about
don't
NASCAR
hear my
turns.
co-caster again.
Uh-oh. Oh no, we got the bug again. Jesus Christ, guys. All right. Small interruption here. I again got the freaking Discord bug where Deft cannot hear me again. So I will try to get Deft back into the call as soon as I can. We again got the no root RTC connecting bug here. And there we go. We are back again.
Okay,
All
excellent.
right.
Perhaps you'd like to, give your initial impressions of this map and how the players have been performing on it. Maybe people you didn't expect to perform this poorly.
Yeah. Indeed, Luxy, Gigason off to a very bad start for themselves. Akari is in a good second place, I think, for him, which makes the fight in the middle of the pack in total points very interesting, I think. So Akari is doing pretty well. They're not crushing it as we expected. But Gigason, only with 2 points right now. That is very interesting. And he is dropping it at the moment. And it seems like Blue is just walking away with the points. So this map might be over quite fast. That is not good for them.
Yeah, and for Gigasan, the additional problem for him is he finishes last 3 rounds in a row. The
Yeah,
problem for him is that he doesn't actually have any points to give away. He's actually going to finish dead last if Rectarden can keep putting these points into him, because Rectarden is not that far behind.
yeah.
Actually, with the points as they currently are, Rectarden has caught up to Gigasan, and now they are sharing last place. So Gigasan needs to step it up,
Wow.
immediately.
Oh
There's
my
no more
days.
time to mess around.
That is very, very bad. He is just struggling with this map so bad. Already making huge mistakes as we see here. Seconds behind already after, I don't know, 3 or 4 turns maybe?
I
So, oh
mean,
my god.
as a player, let's just make this crystal clear. Uh, what is this? Snuff? Bit risky, but look at the time. Look at what he's doing right now.
Oh my day.
Oh no, he bugs
Oh
out.
no! Ay, ay, ay. The
I
first time, yeah.
shouldn't have said anything. But
Oh
to be
my
fair,
god.
like Noff is the one with the three fastest times right now,
Yeah,
and 3 rounds, three fastest times by a second compared to everyone else in the field. I
that is
think his
insane.
dominance. He does need a break from dominating, I think. And Echo Race has actually been really smart this whole map. This whole match, actually. I really want to commend Echo Race because he's been smart about this. He was always behind in pace to, I don't know, Luxi, Gigasan, and others, but he's always collecting, at least 3 to 4 points per round, and he's actually
Yeah,
made himself competitive
yeah, yeah.
despite this disadvantage because he's actually really smart about the way he drives. And again, he collects, despite his pace not being great, he collects another 4 points, and this is doing wonders for him actually in his competition with the other players. Now, unfortunately, Goku is his direct competitor, and he's being beaten by him. But still,
Ooh.
this is really a very smart race for Mecha Race. I really have to point that out.
Yeah, very well done indeed by him collecting the points.
Yeah, Goku is
Giga-san.
Goku is exactly 2 points ahead of him right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right. So that is a very interesting battle to watch. Eka race against Goku here. And let's see who can actually stay in this map. We see Not a little bit further behind here again.
That's a small mistake. He'll recover from this because he's by and far away the fastest person on the field.
Yeah,
And he's indeed making it up, so he's already almost, back to first place. He
there we
speed slides
go.
Goku, makes the mistake, and Noff. Oh my god, look at
Wow.
that line. That is crisp, clean, and he's in first place by the end of the lap after starting fifth.
Woo.
Noff, nothing you can do against Noff, pun intended. Jesus.
That is
This
insane.
is a performance and a half. Gigasan breaks away now, but I don't think he can stay ahead for long. He can now.
Ah.
Noff with a small mistake. Unfortunate mixture of a bug and a weird line. That being said, Noff is still in second place, so he's collecting a ton of points. Oh no! Oh!
No.
Oh!
He is just
I
done.
s-
You just deleted him. Oh my god. He is gone.
Jesus.
Oh
I
my
guess the
god.
moment we started talking about how dominant he was, he then proceeded to, completely bash 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And look at this, like, Ekarace now finishes, with a +3 again,
Yeah.
which
And
is just
Goku on a
like,
+1. So they are dead even right now, right?
yeah, they're dead
Yeah.
even right now. So
Oh my days.
Ekarace and Goku are actually dead even in points right now.
All right.
But, actually, no, that's just the end of that. And Rectarden is now ahead of Gigasan.
Yeah. That is
So,
insane. Oh
wait,
yeah.
is my camera gone? Oh, let me just
Yeah,
turn it on.
it was not
Here you
on.
go.
There we
Oh,
go.
whoops.
It's fine.
So, about this one.
Let me quickly fix that.
Not exactly sure, like, off with another strong round, but look at this. Gigasan has actually discovered a lot of pace recently, so I guess he was confused by the map, especially because this is untrained, and now Gigasan is actually recovering a lot of pace.
Wow.
He needs the pace, and he needs the points. The problem is that this whole evening has been about Gigasan having the pace and not having the consistency, so
Yeah.
I don't know, he has to start finishing rounds very, very quickly indeed.
Let's see if he can keep it up here. Looking good right now. Not too far off from top 1 as well. Slight margin. Now giving it up to Not. Ooh, all right. Not survives the corner where he just absolutely flew out. And he stays in first place. But Gigasan doing well. Let's see if he can keep it up here. He can't. Oh my god, no way. Gigasan. suffering from a masterful caster curse once again, finishing
Look at
in
this.
fifth.
Echo Race again ahead of Goku. He can
Plus
actually beat
4.
Goku if he continues
Yeah,
doing this. Because blue team is just winning all of these rounds.
yeah.
This map is going to be over very quickly, so every round counts. You can't run away from it. So Noff sets a very strong 128.6. That being said, though, nobody is actually going to... He's not exactly going to break world records. Rectarden's lead over Gigasun only increases. Rectarden is actually going to make it up completely. And I think
Very early
Gigasun might have just
mistake.
made a huge mistake, yeah,
Yeah.
so he's not doing himself any favors. I don't think you should be playing this poorly, and I think he might at this point even be just frustrated with the fact that on the maps which are more of his style, he didn't actually get any points advantage over his direct rivals.
That's
Jesus,
very
what is
true.
that horn? That is loud as hell.
Yeah, I do not hear that, which is good, I think. But
Yeah, I don't have the game fully muted, and
all
I just
right.
got my ears blasted off. Uh, so Goku leading, and he needs to
Noff in
lead.
last place now.
Okay,
Yeah.
Noff is in last place. He made a big crash, but look at this now. The race between Race and Goku. This is for a position in the end. This is going to matter a lot. Especially, like, Race needs the position because he lost the team game. So let's see what happens now. Can Race actually make it back? Can he preserve at least the second position and keep himself in the running? Because it is so close between him and Goku. Every point counts. There is no such thing as free rounds anymore. Can he maintain it? Gigasun unknowingly, I don't think Gigasun even knows. He's sniping his teammate, but he's not aware that his teammate really needs those solo points. Oh, but
Oh, he
Gigasun
obliges.
obliges with a
There we
mistake.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goku winning, but Akari is solidly in second, so he keeps the fight between him and Goku very close.
They're dead
Nice.
even in points now. They're dead even in points now. And it's another blue round, so this could be the final round,
Oh
and
my
Goku and
days.
Ekarace are even in
Oh,
points.
we are in for a nice round here, guys. Eka race against Goku, basically, for the position in the end, which is huge indeed. That even in points. So let's see what might be the last round here of the evening. Both not off to the best start, but of course, very small mistakes. So
Yeah, this round I'm just focusing on them two because
yeah,
this is more interesting. Noff is
yeah.
already secured in first place. Luxie did not manage to... I think Luxie's lead is also secure. I think it is. I really hope I'm not proven wrong at the end because he had a very big lead in second place, but he's kind of completely dropped the ball on this map.
I just want to put out one quick thing before we jump into that. Rectarden leading this map with 31 points. That is very interesting because you said before we started here that Rectarden might do well on this map. So just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, I expected him to. I really think that this is a map that Rectarden does it. Okay, so let's see what happens. Goku versus Ekarace. Goku with a strong lead. Let's see what happens here.
All right.
Gigasun can still... Gigasun, can he actually make back his position if Rectarden finishes last? I'm not sure he can, and Rectarden isn't last anyway. Goku's still ahead of Gigasun, but I think that's a small mistake from Goku. This could be very close until the end. Let's see. Goku with a bit more speed coming out of that. Ekarace, unfortunately, with a safe line. That's not going to be enough if you want the position. Goku looking to secure his position in the end, even though it looked very close between him and Ekarace. Final corner. Let's see. Do any of them make mistakes? I don't think they do, and Goku secures his position.
Wow.
That's the end of it all.
And it's blue. Yeah, there we go. All right. GG. What a last round. Ekarace and Goku. Super close, actually. Very nice performance by Ekarace. We have to
We're
say
just going
that.
to count the points very quickly to see what happens. So please stay tuned because the solo rankings will be published